Yeah.
I was just wondering how many people currently use the satellites?
Let's see, the program is very successful commercially today, and it's not used much in the U.S. It's the Iridium business. Iridium is really a non-U.S. company. If you look at where most of the revenue comes, a big portion of revenue comes from commercial shipping over the ocean. And in the past couple years, Iridium has severely cannibalized Inmarsat's business over Inmarsat's narrowband voice. And almost all your container ships, your crude oil ships, all of your commercial ships have Iridium on, and they have an antenna, and then it's through the PBX on the ship, and the crew members have scratch cards, and it's a great revenue generator. I go fishing up in Alaska every year. All the bush pilots in Alaska carry an Iridium phone. When I fly into Kodiak, and then the bush pilot flies me to a smaller island, the bush pilots will not fly without the Iridium phone. The guy I flew with last summer, his life was saved twice with the Iridium phone because they're always crashing all the time. So.
What about people who just travel internationally a lot and don't want to have to deal with cell phone switchovers when they move?
Yeah, it's used some for that, but I'd say today it's so easy to buy scratch cards and stuff like that that people it's not a high. It's more where your infrastructure is weak. For instance, Iridium has a big deal with Australia. And so with Telstra in Australia, they provide all the mobile phone service for the outback in Australia, and then we have a big bent pipe backhauling all the traffic back there. And Iridium data devices are really coming online because you can use them anywhere in the world. The military uses it a lot. To give you an example, when Katrina happened, so under me, while I was operating officer, I have also building all the handheld telephones, all the subscriber equipment was under me too. When Katrina happened, I shipped all of the phones I could down to Katrina. I cranked up the phones are built in Malaysia. I cranked all the phones I could with all the parts I had. And I did a backlog. I got a backlog of about 90 days of phones, but I delivered everything I could until I ran out of parts, And if you don't have your parts ordered in November, all the electronic game guys snarf up the parts. So I couldn't get my hands on any parts for about a month. Yeah.
I found that Iridium, I've used Iridium products in Africa, refugee camps. The oil platforms use them because they're offshore 200 miles.
Right.
But they're more reliable, but they're not as economically efficient. They can't really compete with the handsets, the wireless, the network.
Correct. The satellite service will never in densely populated areas. Satellite service is a premium service, right? So it will never compete effectively against where you have land-based service.